actually, that pretty much.
We use Sunday.
She said she wasn't this on. I know some people there.
Right. Go.
Yes, I did. I saw it come across. I had to go read it.
See how I look. See it.
Yeah, I saw it.
All right, guys. Welcome to Wednesday nights. We're here at Second Baptist Church. Glad to have you all here tonight. Again, everyone's sitting on the right side. That's all right. From your left, my right. No, it works out because there's some words and stuff right here, so people can't really see you. So you're hiding it underneath the screen right now. So just for FYI there, when you go back to watch yourself on Wednesday nights. So glad you're here. Hopefully God is working in your life. Hopefully you're listening to him working in your life, I should say. God's always working and doing. And hopefully you enjoyed our time this last Sunday with Alan Calkins from Children's Home. It was an inspiring message, and hopefully we all took that to heart to seize the day, really, for such a time as this. Often we talk about waiting till tomorrow or something, or we can do it next year or next time. And the day's evil. We need to seize the day and make the most of every day we have. So that was an exciting time. We got a lot of great stuff happening. Mr. Bradley's been working hard upstairs, getting our dual streaming going on. And so now we're streaming to YouTube and Facebook. And we do it for a couple weeks now because we've been kind of testing it out. And this is going to be a great advance for us because a lot of people can't watch our Facebook Live because they may not have a smartphone, or they may not. It's a little harder to get on Facebook Live if you're not familiar with Facebook. But YouTube works on smart TVs. So people who have smart TVs, once they get set up, then it'll automatically it'll pop up in the feed on the smart TVs, and they can watch them on their TV at home. So now we have that going. So we're gonna start encouraging that and encouraging people to check that out and be a part of that here pretty soon, next couple weeks. So exciting stuff happening right now. And anyway, so a lot of fun stuff there. We're still developing. We're also looking for volunteers as we head into the future of our AV ministry. So if you can push a couple of buttons, we need you. And you need to be able to stay awake during service. So that's the other catch. You got to pay attention. You got to be awake. So, but that's not too hard of a challenge for when you're, maybe it is. I don't know. Yeah, during service.
Oh, no, that's simple.
It's simple. Okay, all right. I do watch you guys. I do know. I joked around about this last Sunday sitting in the pew. I was like, oh, I hope I don't fall asleep, You're real bad. The preacher falls asleep when he's not preaching. So anyway, I didn't. I stayed awake, paid attention the whole time, and it was good. So all right. So let's get on. It's our Wednesday night prayer meeting time. It's become our tradition to, when we open up our prayer time together, to do a time of kind of searching and readying the hearts for our prayer meeting together. And so that's our opening prayer time. What we want to do is lead us through a prayer of repentance, to seek our hearts. If we have any unrepentant sin, spend some time talking to God about the sins of our lives. We're not all perfect. And sometimes we need to stop and just be honest with God about the struggles. Take time to pray about that. What forgiveness we have. Pray about clearing out distractions. I'll go ahead and lead us through it. Father God, Lord, we just thank you. Lord, we just thank you for this time. God, we thank you for your grace and your love. God, how you always are there. For these last several weeks, Lord God, we just thank you. God, we come before you this time, this abstain from these things, that we may grow closer to you, just more in love with you daily. And God, we ask you to search our hearts and minds for any unforgiveness. And God, help us to feel move on to our time of study. We've been studying the integrity of God, and we'll be studying through. So, with integrity of God, in a 3-week study, we first talked about God is true. Then we talked about last week God is truthful, and this week we're going to kind of tie in again where God is faithful. And so, all three of these things kind of weave together. So, we're kind of have you ever seen a piece of artwork or a sculpture somewhere? And if you go to the left side, you see it one way. And then you go to the front of it, it changes shapes a little bit, the way you perceive it. And then you go around to the third side, and you see it from a little different angle. And that's kind of what our study has been the last 3 weeks. We've been looking at the same sculpture, but we've been looking from one side to the middle to the other side, just to gain a little more perspective on how God is full of integrity. And so there's been some overlaps. Hopefully you guys don't check out because we've been saying some of the same things. We're looking at them a little bit different, but not way different. But it's one thing to think about, because as we learn to grow in God, we've got to learn how to trust God and know what we trust. Because that's what God pushes us to. He chooses those who are given much, that are expected much. And we in America have been given a lot of resources, a lot of information, a lot of ways to learn. It's an amazing thing. And so it's for us to grasp a hold of and trying to push ourselves to go more. Now, I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, we don't all have to be Bible scholars and know the ins and outs of these deep philosophical and theological discussions and debates. We don't have to know the ins and outs of all, but we've got to make the most of what God has given us. And so that's going to require some work and some effort. And so hopefully you guys have been enjoying it as we've kind of been working through these things. So tonight we're going to talk about God is faithful, the last part of God's integrity. Remember, it all ties again to God's holiness, because that's God's main characteristic, and everything kind of points back to God's holiness, his separate-partness. And so this is not always time. So the word faithful, we kind of picked this up from, it's a Greek and Hebrew words, 2 different words, but they both communicate